Beautiful.
We're back.
Welcome back, Romain. You still have the same clothes on. What's going on?
I don't know. That's
Why are you doing this?
I have one t-shirt and one set of pants.
I wish that table was a bit longer so I didn't have to smell you, you know?
I smell really bad. To my defense, it's really hot in here.
Fair.
And I
That's
don't
why
know
I'm
how
using a sweater.
You're wearing a hoodie. I don't know.
No, I just wanted to match, you know?
Fair enough.
This is the team gear.
That's the proper dress code for Clap That Slate. Can you say Clap That Slate now, or is it still
No,
Slate
it's
that,
too early.
Slate That
Batch
Clap?
number 4, I think
Okay.
I will have it. Slap that plate, man. What the hell?
All
Anyway,
right, excited on a new episode.
yeah,
That's cool.
I thought we could talk about something else for once. Not gear. No, I wanted to talk about the whole. I think a lot of people, also me, and still, a lot of people get into projects without really going through the creative part and going over like what is really the story I want to tell and what's the look and the feel and the mood and why am I even shooting this.
So you're saying that they're more drawn towards like the operational side of
exactly.
things. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people starting out just want to shoot.
Yeah.
They don't really think what do I actually want to shoot? What do I want to tell? And yeah, I wanted to talk with you about this and how you go about it.
I think that's a big issue. That's a big issue in all creative field, not only filmmaking, like everywhere. Because like I also run like a marketing agency, and so we're dealing with a lot of graphic designers, you know, sound designers, like whatever, like everything that that can be created. We deal with people that do that, and most of the time when we talk to like more entry level junior people, they tend to be obsessed with the technical side of things and how they're gonna do it,
right?
As opposed to like what the meta and supra and like the overall vibe of the project should be and why we're doing this.
Yeah, and as a client and as you as the creative agency, you don't really. I mean, as a creative agency, maybe more, but as a client, definitely, you don't really care how the person does it and how with what camera he's gonna do it or what. You know, let's start. I mean, in the end, you want the end product to be what you have imagined.
Yeah, except for artistic projects, I think when it comes to like client work, commercial work, clients come in and they have one goal is essentially to promote or sell more of something, and that's the reality of it, and that's just fine. But the clients usually come up with like, oh, we need to shoot a commercial that talks about this, and this, and the target audience is, I don't know, male and female living in Switzerland between like age 25 and 35 and that like motorcycles, for instance. And this is sometimes this is the only brief you get. And then that's when you need to go, and that's why creative agencies I think are great for this, is that you have to look at the project as like the message and like what you want to tell people, as opposed to how you're gonna actually pull it off and produce it.
Exactly. And understand who is gonna receive that message. How do these people think?
Exactly.
What do they respond to?
Exactly. And to just like go back to like what I was saying, I think a lot of people when we talk to graphic designers or people, the creative people, juniors people tend to be like, oh, so maybe we can use this plugin to do this, and maybe we can use that set of I don't know, equipment to do that and this. And like more senior people and like people that have more experience, they're like, okay, so maybe the overall vibe should be this, and then maybe you know, the pace of the movie should be this, or you know, stuff like this. And this is where it shows the difference of understanding what the final product should be.
Yeah. And
like,
why you do it.
Yeah, because like in terms of production, sometimes you have to like end up like doing like really high end shit, like 30 people crew, whatever. But sometimes a big project can be a really small crew, and because like the project, like the final product calls for it.
Exactly.
You know? And yeah, this is pretty.
I think essentially it is that a lot of videographers, young cinematographers, small crews, they tend to work like a production company. So they just they organize the shoot, they go through what they need, the gear, the crew, they plan the shoot, they shoot it, and originally traditionally it is a creative agency that comes up with the idea with the client, and that goes to a production company with this idea in mind.
Yeah.
And they get a director, and then they get together and they shoot the film.
Exactly.
And I think in a lot of nowadays, which everything is getting smaller and easier with all these small cameras, and everything is just simpler than it used to be, that part kind of goes away for a lot of small projects.
Yeah.
So all the videographers, I'll call it, they don't do the creative part most of the time. I've seen it a lot, and it's been like that myself in the beginning. They don't think about, okay, what do you really want? Because people might come to you, clients might come to you and say, I need a video, and I want to go through that product, and it should explode. And people don't even, a lot of people don't even ask, why do you want to do this? What's your goal? Because you don't want this video. You want something out of it.
Yeah.
You want to get a response from it. That's missing a lot of times.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point you're bringing up, because I think that's really set apart, like, the really good people you can work with and like the average people you can work with. I think, but you don't need to be like uber creative like on every project. Sometimes like you just shoot like an event after movie, and like there's only like so much you can do. Of course you can do like stuff that
limited there.
You're pretty limited in terms of like what you can do. So I don't think everything and like every projects require like huge brainstorm sessions with like creative agencies, like DPs, directors, and like production agents or whatever. But I think for more commercial work and for projects, even art projects, to be honest, that are a little bit more wide open in terms of like what is feasible and what's not, you're not like confined within like, one event or like one interview in like one specific room or like one, whatever. When you can do whatever, I think it's good like to be with creative people that understand that creativity comes before production. And
exactly,
because production companies are really important, because without production companies, like on bigger shoots, it's really hard to like pull it off, because like there are so many little details, but they're not really their job is to produce and like make sure that you have X C stands, and that you have the location is booked, and that you have the talent is booked, and like everything is booked, all the contracts are signed. But the role is not necessarily to be the creative person or the creative push.
Exactly, yeah.
And
I think it's like a step. I mean, there's really like steps you can go down when you have a project. First, clear this, do this, and then start producing. Then find crew. So maybe can you how do you go about it? Can you walk us through what you kind of ask your clients and find out, and how you decide things?
So the agency I founded and I work for is like kind of like in between like the production agency and like the creative agency. So it's like a weird hybrid,
which is nowadays normal. A lot of agencies.
I think it's normal. It's getting
like that.
Yeah, I think it's getting towards this. But usually, what we're trying to do as a team is that when the client comes with a need, we try to strip away all the constraints, like the production constraint or like the budget constraint. We have to take that into consideration, obviously, but everything production related, we try to like put it on the side. So essentially what we ask the client is that, okay, who do you shoot this for? Like, what's the main goal? Is it just like corporate communication, like because you have like a new project coming up? Is it are you trying to sell stuff? Are you trying to like promote stuff? Are you trying to like say something?
What do you hope to get out of it?
What do you hope to get out of this? And usually it's funny enough, this part is really tricky for the clients. Because like nowadays, especially if we're talking about videos, but this applies to like all creative fields, everybody wants to make videos now. Because like some LinkedIn guru said like videos are everything or whatever.
They work 20% better and they get watched.
Wait, fair enough.
50% more.
Fair enough, that works well. But when you ask clients like, why do you do that, and who do you do that for? Sometimes they're just like, they freeze and like, oh, we didn't really think that through, and we need to maybe get back to you with this, because like we just wanted to like make a video because like we saw that our competitor did a video and we want to be on the same. And funny enough, because like we deal with a lot of marketing people and like marketing directors and whatnot that come and ask us for advice, and sometimes that's it, and that's crazy. And this.
Well, you mean you don't see the client anymore? They go back and they.
Oh no, they come back. But when we talk to marketing directors and whatnot, sometimes like they don't know why they're doing stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's I think that's crazy. And I think there are a lot of people out there that are just like, okay, you want a video? Well, let's just make a video, whatever. But chances are, if you do that, the client might be happy, but at the end of the day, the final product is not going to serve the client as well as if you had taken like a day or two. Yeah, they'll notice.
They will notice later, like, what did we actually do this for? What did that bring to us?
Exactly.
We spent all this money for it. What did we get out of it?
Yeah. And that's insane. So what we do is usually we go about this, and if they clear the first step, like, okay, we know who we're talking to and like why we're doing this, then we go to, okay, do you have like corporate guidelines? Do you have like a corporate mood or visual how's it called, visual identity close to you? Like, for instance, if we talk about brand, like watch brands, I don't know if the people are going to understand that reference, but talking about precision, you can show it different ways. For instance, if you talk about like a really high-end watch brand, precision is probably going to be like an old person in like a workshop in the middle of Swiss Alps doing something, because this is like this is the craft and this is the precision. This is not manufactured. Exactly. But for other brands like Omega, precision is like getting to the finish line, running as fast as possible, and we have the finish line picture. You know what I'm saying? So you have Usain Bolt. So the same message for like two different companies is showcased differently. And
also for example, a brand that is super modern, super new, everything is techie, it might be robots doing things.
Exactly.
Because it's super perfect, it's expensive, it's not handmade anymore, it's that might be precision for another brand.
Exactly. Yeah. So we try to understand the clients, because there are no cookie cutter stuff for like any of this. So the second step is that we try to understand the client's culture, the client's like what the corporate image is, the visual identity is, and then this gives us like leads towards like in which direction we're headed. And then most often we try to ask the client like what kind of budget they have for that specific project, because this is going to play a huge role, not necessarily in terms of like how much money we make as an agency, but like this is going to be what the playing field is going to be like. Because if they have $12,000 to make a commercial, we know that it's going to be pretty one-day shoot, maybe two. Studio, we're not going to have like a huge crew. We're not going to have like, we can't rent out like really.
Absolutely. We
can shoot everything slow-mo, 1,000 frames per second. But if they're like, okay, we have between 30 and 50, then okay, this opens up possibilities. We can go abroad. We can like get more talents. We can get more crew. We can get that director, like whatever. So this is going to be cool. And then after this step, we say, okay, we have everything we need. We talked about all the small details, like what they're trying to promote and whatnot. And then we come up with a treatment. So at that stage, it's nothing related to storyboarding or like gear we use or anything. It's just like a storyline. It's like a script sort of.
Right.
So it's like a glorified script. Word document.
I like that.
And we just go through the whole thing. So for instance, okay, the video, like the beginning of the video is someone waking up in their bed. They wake up, they get coffee. Let's say it's a coffee brand. They wake up, get coffee, and then they play with their kids, whatever. And then we're not talking about shot list. We're not talking about anything. This is a treatment,
right?
And I think this is one of the most important part of the thing, because they need to validate the overall direction in which we're going before we do anything related to before like
you get into detail.
Yeah,
and they say, "Oh no, we don't want to do in sports."
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to do sports. We want to do like moon, like people on the moon. Okay, so this is completely different. The budget is too small. Anyways, so this is the second part, and this is a big part where we say this is the validation process is really important. So this is the creative part. We can go back and forth like as many. I mean, we have a limit, but like we can go back and forth a little bit, but we're not moving forward before this is completely validated. Right. And once it's validated and we move to the next steps,
the okay from the client.
We need the okay. If you go back, we have to charge extra.
Right.
Because like this fucks up the whole process.
Just to get in there quickly, you said before, then like after you cleared all the things, you get into the treatment.
Yeah.
Do you ever do treatments before you got a client on board?
We, in terms of business development, for instance.
How do you mean?
Like to get more clients?
For example, I'm just wondering, like, do you ever do that? Do you ever, as the agency, do you ever do the treatments before they actually okayed your bid?
We usually don't really do that.
It's a big process.
I mean, it's a creative process, and I think if you do a first treatment, it's harder to go do a second one for the same client if they don't like it for some reason, because like you've invested so much. But we don't really do that. I know a lot of companies do that to pitch projects, right? But we're not doing that often.
So you only do treatments in the whole creative process once the client is on board and said it's okay and they're working with you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It happened, I think, a couple of times where the client was like, "Oh, can we want to do a video. We don't really know what we want to do. So we just talk a little bit about like the first steps I mentioned, like the who you're talking to and whatnot. And then in order to get the client, we just go like to like a V0.5 of like a treatment. So they just like get a better understanding. And this usually happens for like smaller clients that have little to no experience in terms of how much cool. With video production. But yeah, no, usually treatments is when the thing is validated, and we have a little bit of understanding and of what the company is trying to do anyway, so they know, and like they can look at our portfolio and whatnot and know that we're not gonna fuck this up. I think this might be different for freelancers and whatnot. Yeah,
for sure. Because I think that's a lot of people.
You're playing footsies with me on our table.
Yeah, you like it?
No, not really.
Not really?
Hey, that's your banana?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Where were we? No, but I think a lot of people struggle with that, because in the beginning they don't know, how do I charge for this? Because the client wants to know. The basic question is always like the best question is always, how much does a video cost? Yeah. And it's like asking, how much does a car cost? I mean, there's cars,
it doesn't.
For $500,000 and for $20,000, $10,000.
This is the worst. The worst question, because like there are no good answers to any of this, because like you can say, okay, this is gonna be 5K, and you're gonna like lowball it, and then the client is gonna expect stuff for more than 5K,
maybe 25K, and you're like, sorry, that's not how it works.
Usually the way, and I'd be interested to see how you deal with that as well as a freelancer, but as an agency, usually we say we can't give you a price or a quote. We can give you like examples of like what we've done and like how an estimate of what it cost, and this gives them like a good idea. But like we can't. It's impossible because we might shoot like one talking head, but it has to be in Australia, with like planes flying overhead. Like it doesn't make any sense. Exactly. There's nothing. I mean, for events, like if someone calls me and like, oh, we have the product launch of a new whatever, and we just need someone to like come up.
Standard thing.
It's pretty standard. It's like, okay, it's gonna be like a 60-second like video.
One person.
4
hours.
Yeah, that's it.
That gear. Yeah.
But like for more commercial work and like more narrative work, it's impossible. Yeah. And that they understand pretty easily, because like, okay, we can, or if they're really pushy, we just give them like an estimate between like, I don't know, it's gonna be 25, whatever, for that kind of work.
Exactly.
And then
because I think a lot of people are, especially for the creative part, they're in the clinch because the client might want to know, what are we doing with you? Because the it's like a pitch, like you said. The reason why they would work with you is your idea maybe as well. So they want to hear an idea what you want to do before they want to go and say, okay, your offer of 25 is okay with us. Yeah, and
I know it works like this. Hard. It works like this in some industry. It doesn't work like this in Switzerland as much. I know in the States it works a lot like this, where like companies would put out like, okay, we need like, can you send us like a treatment or like an idea, like a general idea, and then we'll pick the one we like.
Actually,
the most.
in big project, it definitely works like that.
It works like that. Yeah, for big pictures, not for like commercial stuff.
Yeah, for commercial pitches.
In Switzerland,
yes, of course.
We've never been pitched anything. Maybe we were too small.
Well, maybe that's the difference between the French and the German part. Yeah. But in the German part, I know for sure that on bigger, not on a small project, but on big budget TV commercials, it all happens like that. So the creative agency will go out to production companies that I've worked with, they like, and they tell them to pitch directors, and then you might not get it, and you won't get paid really for that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is the difference between being the creative agency and being the production company.
Oh, you're talking about the creative now. Yeah, fair. Okay.
Because like usually what happens on like bigger projects that don't necessarily require only video, but like graphic design and everything, we get pitched sometimes, and we have to come up with like an overall concept, and like one of the deliverables of this might be a video,
right?
Where we can just like in like 5 lines say, okay, this video is going to be outlined like this. This is not like a proper treatment. This is just like one of the deliverable of like a bigger scope project is going to be a video,
right?
But maybe because we're not like a production company as like the traditional term of it,
right?
We don't get pitched like TV commercials or stuff like this. We get pitched like overall projects, like billboards, everything for the launch,
right?
And then the video is one of the deliverables.
Yeah.
So that's
because
the difference.
You know, people that start out, they might. I mean, I did that for sure. I just pitched these things. I did creatives. Like I didn't charge them because I knew it was gonna. You need some persuasion before they might, book me. So I just said.
But who did you pitch? Did you pitch like the production companies that might hire you out?
No, it's mostly clients.
Okay.
No, I never pitched production.
Okay.
No, it was clients directly for like projects. Because I still to this day work a lot still with clients directly. Sometimes, and for smaller projects. And I used to do that, pitch them the idea. Maybe I didn't do like a whole big thing, but I did some, a little PDF, like 5 pages, put some words down, some mood images. And directly for the client, it's much more visible what you have in mind and the quality and the whole commitment you have.
But did you pitch? Did you pitch before they asked you to, or did you pitch because you wanted to get them?
I've done that as well, but mostly it's they asked me about something and I knew, I really want this job. So if I know from my experience, if I'm gonna be there and they ask me how much is this video and we want to do this and that, kind of in that mood, that style, that direction, and I can imagine, of course, my style is gonna flow into that. I'm gonna do it the way that fits me. But then I know if I could just come up with a number and say it's gonna be $30,000, they're gonna be like, what? How? Why? The stuff they don't understand what's behind it. And once I can put a PDF together and I can show them the story and the kind of detail that we go into, they're much more understandable for the commitment we have for it and for how much work it's going to be. Maybe I even put a page in where I say how many days are we going to have to shoot for this approximately, how many crew, how many actors. And so for them it's much more understandable. There's actors. Sometimes for people it's not even there's actors. You have to pay them. There's locations. You have to 3 days for a 30-second spot?
Yeah.
What? I thought we're going to shoot this in 4 hours.
Yeah.
So when they understand that, they're much more willing to pay more.
I think that's the biggest difference between freelancers and agencies. Because like most of the time, the clients we get are used to work with agencies.
Absolutely.
Whereas like freelancers, they get like bigger clients, but they also get smaller clients that have like no understanding of how things work. So I think this is like the biggest difference. But I'm not against, like we've done, like as I said, for like big pitch, like national pitches, like the government sometimes like sends out pitches to like agencies, and we have to answer with like a proof of concept sort of.
Right.
So like.
What do you do then? Like a storyboard or a short video, or what do you do?
No, usually what we do then, because we've never been pitched like video only. This is always like the bigger scope, like everything. Like for instance, let's say the government is starting a new project,
right?
And this requires a new logo, a new name, a new website,
the whole
everything.
Thing.
And
right.
This is what we get pitched for. And what we try to do is like come up with like kind of proposals, because usually these are like massive budgets.
Right.
So this is the investing time in this for an agency makes sense because the return on investment is really good.
Right.
Not so much for like really small clients. I mean, we treat everyone the same thing, but like we're not going to spend like a week doing a treatment for a project that's like $5,000.
Right.
Whereas we can do that for projects that have like that are more budget. But what we do is that we do everything a little bit. So like we do a little bit of logo, like we try to go in that direction in terms of colors, in terms of like, shapes, because this is this. We try website, we go like, okay, we need like a website which is like mobile friendly, super fancy, exactly, stuff like this.
Yeah.
And one of the deliverable might be a video, and that's when I'm like most active in, and then I'll go like not like a full treatment, but just like go, okay, the overall mood based on what we recommended earlier, because most of the time there's like nothing in terms of like mood boards and everything that's given to us. In terms of what we based on what we recommended earlier, this is how we would do it.
Right.
And then at the end of like the whole thing, we have a massive like a spreadsheet with like how like estimates on like how much everything is.
Right.
But this works for like bigger projects. As agencies, we tend not to do that for smaller projects.
Do you charge for that?
They usually pay you a little bit, really nothing compared to like the amount of work that comes in. Because like most of these things, it's probably like a 3-person job for like maybe 5 days.
Right.
So, that's a lot.
3 weeks of work.
Yeah, almost.
Person, yeah.
Maybe not 5 days, maybe like less than that. And maybe some people work more, but like overall, yeah, it's like 2 weeks, like 2.5 weeks.
Absolutely.
But then the project is so big and the money is so interesting in terms of business. It makes sense to do that as a business development. But yeah. And
absolutely. Yeah.
But that's we have
like 3 more minutes.
3 more minutes. I just wanted you, for when you pitch like clients, you said like you do a treatment, you do like maybe like a mood board and everything, and you give that away for free. How do you make sure that they don't steal that idea and like go do it with like someone else that might be cheaper?
That's a really good question, and honestly, it's based on trust and my gut feeling, because I would never do that when I know this client is not committed. Yeah, because you can tell how committed they are to you and how ready they are to spend money. And if I feel like they just want to kind of get a grasp of how much it costs, I'm never doing this. Yeah. I'm only doing this when I know they really want to do it. Maybe I know the connect. I've most of the time I have somehow a connection to them. Yeah. They might have been referred, and so I'll just try to get in there and figure out, is this really happening? Maybe, or is it just that they don't trust me enough with that much money? Yeah. And so I try to kind of figure that out. And once I know, I think they're doing it, and I think I'm the right fit, and I really want to do this, then I'm ready to invest that. And of course, the chance of them doing that, it is there. And if
has it ever happened to you? Because it happened to us.
Yeah.
We had people like coming in asking for ideas when we first started, and then they would just like take the idea and not work with us.
I don't think it has happened to me. I'm not
That's
sure.
Cool.
I don't think. Yeah, I hope it stays that way. But definitely, I think it's worth doing maybe over delivering in the beginning.
Oh yeah,
doing a bit more, just especially in the beginning when you're starting out, just to maybe get that last inch that you're ahead of your competition. Yeah. They didn't do that. Yeah. They ask maybe a bit less, but you did this. They notice how committed you are, and I think it's worth going that extra mile. And you might fuck up. Yeah. They might do that, but I think most of the time, if you think about it, and you kind of figure out how the client and what kind of person this is, I think most of the time it will be worth it. Yeah, and also it's a good practice for yourself to just do treatments.
That's great. Especially when you're first starting off, I think like the more you can do, the more you can understand. We can go over it. We have the black magic.
That's true. I always forget.
Right. But yeah, so I think we drifted a little bit from like the main topic a little bit, but just to like sum up like the creative process and like what we're trying to say is that thinking about the creative side of things before thinking, I'm gonna set this out again. Phil, edit this out. So just to sum up, like what we were trying to say is that thinking about the creative side of a project without being constrained to like the operational part of it is gonna make your work a lot better, and it's gonna be a lot easier for the clients to like get the final results they want, because most of the time people like, especially people starting off, or like people that just want to get like as much clients as possible, like quick turnover, they tend to just like, okay, yes, let's go. We shoot a video, whatever. Like
Just do it.
Just do it.
Not even think
and
about
then the deliverable might be nice, but it might be not suited to like the client's needs. So splitting the two into different compartments almost, and be like, okay, who do you talk to? Who do you want to talk to? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to achieve? What's your visual identity?
What have you done before? Exactly.
What have you done before? What's your mood? Like what are your values and whatnot? And
are
then
you modern? Are you traditional?
Exactly.
Are you fast paced? Are you slow paced? Are you
exactly
yeah. Colorful? Not
exactly
stuff like that.
And then from then work a treatment. Don't go into the tiny little details of like, oh, we need like a overhead shot there. We need like a tracking shot there. That comes later. And this is a package. You can sell that package for sure. Like in your quote, this is definitely like a block of stuff. Like you're selling them your time and your knowledge,
100%.
know-how. But when this is validated and like signed off by the client, then you can go and either do the production yourself and like hire out a production company, and you'll have all the tools in your hands to actually produce the best results you can for the client.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's also just one more thing.
Yeah.
That's also kind of the good and the bad in the whole film, that in film, because you can, any project, like you said, don't restrict yourself by the budget and the whole thing and how much time you have for the creative part.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing, because basically any story you can scale down and up,
for sure.
You know,
for sure.
It should, I mean, some things are like only one way achievable and it's going to be expensive. Yes. But for the most part, any story you can scale down
for sure
and shoot it for that budget or that. It's
or you
just
can do studio instead of outside.
It's just, and you can just cut some corners and make it a little bit shorter, maybe just less people. It's a good part, but it's also a bad part, because it's really hard to quote, you know, because it like I said, the question, how much does this video cost? It would be nice if you could say this cost 5,000, this cost 10, and this 50, but it's just hard to do because so many things flow in there, and one decision in the story can make the video twice as expensive.
Yeah. So just to bounce back on what you're saying, and to finish up that video, because we're taking way too much time. We're only on the Blackmagic now if you're on YouTube, because like the two other cameras just like died on us. But what we did a few times, and I think it makes sense. It's just like a little bit more of a pain for the client, but like we try to split the creative and the production in 2 different offers.
Yeah.
So the cool thing is that you have the creative part can be like a fixed price that you give for the client, and you can say, okay, we can do the creative thing, we can do the treatment, and once this is done, you pay us for this, and we can give you, once we define, like everything is like set and agreed by the client, once this is done, we can make you a quote for the actual production.
Right.
And this is the process that makes the more sense to me. It's just super annoying for the client, and for bigger exactly. And for bigger companies, it's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes to have one offer validated and paid, and then the rest, and they have to like deal with their finance manager and whatnot. So, and
in bigger businesses, that's a long way.
That's a long way.
3 people or
exactly.
4 people. Yeah.
So this is the best process, but this is not really realistic for like most.
Mm-hmm.
But this is maybe an advice for like people listening. If you're trying to like get more into the creative thing, then focus on this, and then you can hire out like production companies, or do half of the production yourself and like hire people out, whatever. But yeah.
But also for me, to wrap this up, one last thing, I think it's worth spending more time on that, because a lot of people come, like we said, from the technical part, from the production part, and it's going to make your project so much better if you just take your time and understand what does the client want, why does he want it, and how do you achieve it. And 1,000%. Then also the production part is going to be much easier deciding, you know, because you limit yourself already, which is not bad, because you want to get in the narrower to the point where that's the perfect, like, in an ideal world, that's a perfect end product for your client.
Exactly.
To achieve what he wants.
Exactly. That's beautifully said.
Lovely.
Should we do...
That's the first one we went over.
35
We're at 35 minutes.
38 seconds.
Yeah. But that's okay.
This deserves a clap.
No, it's funny too. It's pretty fun. I think the claps are right here.
How do you know that? Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Yeah, that's it. Do you have
That's
anything?
it? No.
That's it. Yeah, follow us everywhere. Like
No.
us everywhere. Send us subscribes to Phil's OnlyFans, and
It's not up yet.
it's not up yet.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah, we're working on 360 and camera.
We'll notify you when it's there.
All right, guys.
You can do the outro. What are you doing? I can.
Outro.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.